my show. Glad to see you. Let's go ahead and get started right away because today we're making cinnamon rolls and I am excited. Woohoo! Come on over here and let's go over the target today. The target up here is that today you're going to learn the techniques of using yeast products, okay? Because that's what is required to make cinnamon rolls. You're going to learn about some of the equipment. You're going to learn also about the ingredients that I'm using. And then the success criteria is that you're going to be able to explain all this in writing, you know, in a sentences. And then I'm also going to give you an article about the history of cinnamon. It's actually an amazing history. You're going to summarize the history of cinnamon, how wars were fought over cinnamon, how actually precious it was. So let's get started with cinnamon rolls today. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is a bowl, a big bowl, okay? And we have to take care of the yeast product first. So this is what I'm using, rapid yeast, because it actually works a little bit faster. But the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to measure out some yeast, okay? And there is a date on the top. The date on the top, you don't want to go over the expiration date, okay? If you go over the expiration date, the yeast won't work, so make sure you pay attention to that. Okay, 2 1/4 teaspoons. That's considered an envelope of yeast because you can buy it that way. You can buy it in envelopes, okay? This actually is a slider on here. I like it because you can, you know, pick out whatever measurement you want. So 2 1/4 teaspoons. And then we're also going to be using 1/2 cup of water and then 1/2 cup of milk, okay? So because the milk product and the water product needs to be at least 78 degrees, you need to use some hot water. And this is a hot water tap here, so we're just gonna put this in here, go up to the 1 mark here. So, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. Let's take a look at this, what it looks like when it goes in here. It looks really cloppy and clumpy, but it dissolves pretty rapidly, okay? So you just take a fork and kind of stir it up. It gets kind of foamy at the top, and it takes about 1 to 2 minutes to get this to dissolve, okay? So we're just gonna wait a minute for this to dissolve. Once the yeast is dissolved in there and it's kind of bubbly on top and it kind of foams up, then you're ready to do the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put in 1/3 cup of butter. Okay, go ahead and put this in here. Oop. All right, let's get this off of here with a rubber scraper and throw that away. And we're going to put an egg in here as well. You can put the egg in there and throw away the shell. And we're going to also put 1 teaspoon of salt in there. So let's put that down. Measure this out. 1 teaspoon of salt. And then we're just going to stir things up. Okay, so just take this and stir things. I'm gonna look in here. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put some sugar in, 1/3 cup of sugar. Just put that right in here, and we're gonna stir this together as well. And this can all be done by hand. You don't have to have a mixer to do this. Okay. And then we're gonna put in 2 cups of flour. Okay. Go ahead and measure this off. I'm using a straight edge here. Okay, there's 1. I'm going to put another cup in there as well. So the recipe calls from 3 to 4 cups. So you use as much as it looks like you need for the right consistency for the dough. So just keep stirring this until it's going to absorb all the flour here, the 2 cups. I kind of, if you can look in here, you can see here. There we go. That's what it looks like right here. Okay, so we have 2 cups. So we're going to add in 1 more because we know that for sure we need 3 cups. Okay, so go ahead and get out another cup of flour. Measure it out here and put that right in there. And let's go ahead and stir again. And here you can kind of see what I'm doing. I don't have a clear bowl. So stir, stir, stir. Keep on stirring. Takes a bit of muscle, but that's good for you. It's good to get some exercise while you're in the kitchen. Stirring. Okay, so we're at the point where we can actually put this out on a board. Okay, so this is going to be my board right here. I'm just going to take some flour, about 1/3 of a cup of flour, and just put it out on here like so. Flatten it out here. Flatten it out. My knife over there since I don't need that. Okay, and move that out here, and we're going to put the dough right out onto the board here. All right, and get rid of this utensil here as well. And put this right into the sink for it to get washed up here in a minute. I'm going to take off my rings too, just because, well, I'm mainly going to use my right hand. This is called kneading. This is the definition of knead, is to basically move the dough around the board or the surface that you're kneading on, and you turn it 1/4 of a turn. So you move the dough around the board until it gets smooth and elastic. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm adding a little bit of flour as I go around here. I don't want it to get tough. I want it to be kind of smooth, okay? Don't want it to get tough. So I'm not gonna, I can already tell that I'm not gonna add in any more flour to this at all, because I can already tell that it's gonna have enough out here. Okay, when it starts to get a little sticky, you just pick up a little bit more flour as you're turning it 1/4 of a turn and then pushing it out. So basically, I'm just working out all the air bubbles, getting it really, really smooth, so that when we roll it out, it works well. So after you have the right consistency, you're just gonna set it aside for about 5 minutes. And then you're just going to let it rest, okay? So that's what I'm going to do here. Ooh, all my flour is getting used up. All right, so if it gets to be too sticky, then I'll add in a little bit more flour, but right now it's doing great here. So just keep going. All right, here it goes. Need a little bit more. Tell right there. Needs a little bit more flour. So it could be different for you. Just use whatever you need. It needs to be kneaded for about 5 minutes, believe it or not. So this is a good workout. Yay. We all need exercise, don't we? That's for sure. Good for our arms. Just keep going, keep going. More flour. All right, so this is looking good. Okay, so once you get it really nicely, just tuck it under like this. And then just set it right here, like so. Do a round ball and just, just a tad bit of flour on top. Just let it rise like this. We're gonna let it sit, rest and rise. It's not really gonna rise, but it's going to kind of rest. All the gluten strands are really tight right now, so they're going to relax so that when you roll it out, it makes it easier. It is time. It's been 5 minutes. That went by quick. And we're going to go ahead and put some flour down here because we're gonna basically roll out the dough and we don't want it to stick, okay? So just put down some flour here, like so. Then you're just gonna take your dough here and we're gonna roll it out. So I'm gonna get my rolling pin, reach down in here and my rolling pin out here. Okay, here we go. So we're just gonna roll this, okay, till it gets into a rectangle, okay? You can flip it over so you can go the other direction here. Okay, and I'm gonna flip it again. Okay, twist it around here. And keep rolling. I want this to be, fairly large. And to be a rectangle if we possibly can get it into a rectangle type of a shape. So just start to move this out to corners like so. We're looking for about 1/4 of an inch in thickness here. We don't want it to be too thick because we want a lot of. Okay, let's move these to the edge right here. There we go. Okay, so I did it here. Woohoo! Okay, this is about good right here. So you're gonna take, let's put this over here, 3 tablespoons of butter. This is called an offset spatula, and so we're gonna use the offset spatula on here. You should have room temperature butter, and you're just going to go ahead and take it and spread it on here. 3 tablespoons. You can use margarine if you're a vegan to make these. Okay, so we have to get the butter all over the whole entire dough, okay? Can't leave out any places because it's the sticky part of the dough, the sticky part where it makes the cinnamon and sugar adhere. So that's what we're doing here. Getting butter on here. It adds flavor, but it also makes the sugar stick so that when you roll them up, it stays in place. Okay? Okay, next thing that I'm going to be doing, let's put this over here, is making the cinnamon and sugar. So here we go. 1/3 of a cup of sugar here. This is organic sugar, so it's a little darker in color because it's more nutritious for you. It has a little bit of molasses in it. And then we're going to put a tablespoon worth of cinnamon in here. And you're going to be reading an article about the history of cinnamon dating back to, biblical days. It was used in all kinds of different anointments and healing and all kinds of different things like that. But very, very interesting. Wars have been fought over many of the herbs and spices of the world. So go ahead and put the lid on here. We're just going to shake it up. And get everything shook up really, really well. And then we're going to use every single bit of it. Okay, don't leave any of it out, okay? I'm going to take this and put it on here like so. If you don't have one of these, you can just use a spoon like this and just take it and sprinkle it on like so. You know, this is another way you can do it if you don't have a sugar shaker. All right, we're almost there. I gotta use all of it. Whoop. Get the corners over here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Get it all out of there. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna use, you guys, is going to be, this is a pizza wheel, actually, pizza cutter. And you can do this in a couple different ways, okay? You can roll it up and then cut it. But the reason why I'm not gonna do it that way is because I like to make all of my cinnamon rolls special and specifically, you know, handmade by me. And the other way, it squashes them a bit. You have to use a wire, and I'm not really into that, but there's a couple different ways that you can make these. I like this way best because it's easiest. So let's go ahead and start this. I got my pan here, and I'm using parchment paper in here so that things don't stick. So you're going to be about an inch and a half, maybe 2 inches here on each of these. So basically, roll that through, roll it up like so, and then you can put it on here like so, and then I just push it down just a little bit here, just a little bit. And again, another one. And roll it up just like so. And put that on here like so. And another one. There we go. Isn't this fun? You're gonna love it. It's kind of fun. And you're especially gonna like eating the cinnamon rolls. The cinnamon rolls are awesome. We kind of have a family tradition in my family where I make cinnamon rolls the day before Christmas, and then Christmas Day I put them in the oven, bake them, put some, you know, cream cheese frosting on, and we have them for breakfast. It's a lovely tradition. Love it. So maybe you guys can make this a tradition for whatever special occasion that you celebrate all the time. You know, everybody has their own traditions that they celebrate. This is just kind of one of the ones that I celebrate. And this is one of the favorite labs just because, you know, the cinnamon rolls start to smell so awesome and so wonderful, you know. So keep on rolling. Goes pretty fast. And we're almost there. Almost done. And that goes there. Boom, boom, boom. Whoop. Okay, that one goes there. The last one here. We'll do a miniature one there. Those are always fun. Someone wants a small cinnamon roll in the family, you know. Some people do. Just a, you know, a bite-sized one. There we go. So we'll put that right there. So we are going to let these rise for 4 to 5 hours, and then we're gonna put them in the oven. And while we put them in the oven, we're gonna make some frosted cream cheese frosting to go right over these to make them taste really, really good. We're gonna plate it up also to make it look really nice. So I'll see you in a minute. I'm back again. So I'm going to teach you how to make the frosting or the icing or the cream cheese frosting that goes on these. That's what makes the cinnamon rolls so good. So you're going to have to follow along here. So we're going to be using this, but you don't have to use a mixer, but I am because I like mine to be really fluffy, and this helps with that process. So what you're going to do is you're going to put 1/3 of a cup of butter in here. Okay, 1/3 of a cup. And you're going to put 3 tablespoons worth of cream cheese. That goes right in here, okay? Roll that away, toss it away. And then we're going to put in 1.5 tablespoons of milk, okay? So put in 1.5 tablespoons. There's a tablespoon. Yeah, ooh, and then here's a 1/2 tablespoon right there. Okay, so we got all that done. Okay, and let me move over here real quick. Okay, put up the milk, and then we're just gonna push this down here and turn this on. This is a paddle attachment here that I'm using. Turn it up just a little bit. Get a little bit more power there. Get everything mixed in here for a minute. Okay, that's good. So we're gonna add in our sugar. So go ahead and get out some measuring cups. Okay, I'm gonna put in some powdered sugar here. So at 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. So go ahead and measure it out. Here's 1 cup. And I'm just gonna kind of turn it on low, okay? I don't want it to go poof everywhere, because that's what happens when you turn it on too wildly. And then here's a 1/2 cup as well. Let's turn that off. Okay, there we go. Let's turn it back on. Very, very, very simple to do. Very, very simple to do. Almost done, almost done. Okay, done. Okay, I'm just gonna pull this over here and then take off all the icing, frosting, whatever you wanna call it, goes on these cinnamon rolls that we're making that are gonna be so delicious. I can't wait to have them. They're about halfway done right now. So we need to wait a little bit longer for them to double in size rather than, they're almost there, but not quite. Okay. So this goes over here. And then here, I'll have you take a look at this frosting here. This is what it looks like. Yum, yum, yum. So next we're gonna be doing we're gonna wait for these to rise, then I'm gonna put them in the oven, and then we're gonna put all this on here, plate everything up, and then we'll be ready to eat. Well, it's time. Look at the cinnamon rolls. Wow, they have doubled in size, which means it's time to bake them. And guess what? I already put the temperature on 400 degrees, so that's what we're gonna cook these on. So let's come a little bit closer and see all these wonderful cinnamon rolls. Ooh, 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 yum. Okay, here we go. Remember, go to the side, down here, middle here, and up. We're gonna set the timer on 12 minutes, and then they're gonna be ready to go. Ooh, excited. Okay, kitchen timer, 12, start. Here we go. Cinnamon rolls are done. Yippee-yay. Let's put them over right over here. Yay, yum. Woo, woo. And off. Okay, so as soon as the cinnamon rolls come out, they're just steaming hot, but it's the best time to put on this because it just oozes in there. So all of these get some. Oh my goodness, these are so ready to go. Woo! And they melt right in there with all this frosting that goes on here. Ooh, cream cheese frosting. Boom, boom, boom. Wow. Ooh. Wow. You guys having a fun time watching? I want to come over here and just see how it melts in here and oozes down into the cinnamon rolls here so well. Going in there. Wow. Wow. Almost done here. Look at that little teeny one there. Remember that little small one that I made? Yeah, there it is. Bite size for somebody who doesn't want the big, huge cinnamon roll. So this is exciting. There we go on that little teeny one there. Over here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh man. It is time to plate up here. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to be using an orange, and this is a bread knife. Makes it easier to cut it here. I'm going to cut out some slices in here of some orange. Here, yum, yum. Okay, once you get these cut out, you can just go ahead and cut right here, and then we're just going to turn this right here and put it on the plate very beautifully. I put some more frostings, icing, whatever you want to call it, okay? And we're gonna go ahead and take one of these out of here. Ooh, man, they are so ready to go. Look at this. I'm gonna plate this right here, and I'm gonna meet you at the table and bring it right over here and sit down. Ooh, thank you for following me today and learning all the different things about cinnamon rolls. And it is the best point in the video now, because in the demonstration, I'm going to try the cinnamon rolls. I hope that you get to enjoy these at home too. So here we go. Warm cinnamon roll all the way down, wafting up my nose. Anyways, join me next week as we make something else, and it's going to be a surprise again. See you later.